All right, Donald Trump taking delight in the new review of emails possibly related to Hillary Clinton's private server. We expect to hear from him later on today. But already he has tweeted, "I am in Colorado, big day planned, but nothing can be as big as yesterday." So how now will this impact the race, and what are the possible legal implications? I'm joined now by CNN political commentator Matt Lewis, CNN legal analyst Laura Coates, and former deputy independent counsel Robert Bittman. Good to see all of you. All right, so Matt, to you first. Even though we don't have complete clarity, is this already helping the Trump campaign?
Absolutely, because look, in politics, it's not so much about what you say on a given day. It's about what the media narrative is, what the news cycle is about. If the election's about Donald Trump, he loses. So when the election is about Donald Trump's controversial Access Hollywood or despicable Access Hollywood comments, he's losing. When the conversation is about Hillary Clinton and her trustworthiness and her honesty and her transparency, she loses. The problem for Donald Trump is he likes to be the center of attention. It's actually the wrong move politically, but he wants to be the center of attention. My advice to Donald Trump would be, shut up. Don't interfere with your opponent when they're in the process of committing suicide. Trump should go, sort of go dormant here and let this story play out.
And Laura, how much is this already hurting Clinton?
Well, I think politically speaking, we could certainly hypothesize that this is actually hurting her a great deal. But the problem is, take a step back. Legally, nothing has changed for Hillary Clinton from what Comey talked about in July. There's still no information that she had any ill intent or bad intent that would legally jeopardize her. What she may have done in this case, we don't know from the emails. It's still very vague and a generic description. But it may have an impact politically. But in an actual court of law, Comey's statement, by being vague, by not talking about whether the emails even came from Hillary Clinton, and we know they did not, we have no indication that it will actually change his inquiry. And remember, Fredricka, the real problem here, this is a problem of Comey's own making. When he had a press conference back in July to discuss the basis for the FBI's proposal to the Justice Department that they not proceed with charges, he inserted himself in a way that totally diverged from any protocol we've seen before. And in doing so, he's repeatedly had to kind of walk back those comments or try to clarify them. And his continued effort to do so is very, very odd for a prosecutor and very, very inconvenient, to say the least, for Hillary Clinton.
So Robert, Comey said he didn't want to be in the middle of it, but now he's very much in the middle of it. So how unusual, inappropriate, strange is it in your view that he would seek the advice of a Loretta Lynch who objected to it, but then proceed anyway?
Well, we have to remember, Fredricka, that the director of the FBI is a subordinate of the Attorney General. And so that part is not unusual. What is unusual, I think, is that if the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General in this case both objected to what the director did, they should have put a stop to it. They could have. The director of the FBI, how? They could have said, I order you not to release this information to the Congress. And he is a subordinate of the Attorney General.
So it's not an issue of respecting the opinions, consulted, got the advice or conclusion, and then it would be presumed that that would be honored?
Well, just like any other boss, they could defer to their subordinate, but the boss can take responsibility and say, look, I'm the boss here, and I disagree with you in this case, and you shall not report this to the Congress or anybody else until these emails, for example, are reviewed.
So Matt, it's unclear how long this review will take. And, it would seem that it's influential, whether it's in a matter of days or whether it's in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that we have now, it looks like thousands of emails. Hillary Clinton says just put them out there. Well, obviously these emails need to be vetted. There could be sensitive, classified, or confidential information. You can't just put them out there. Having said that, I think, it would behoove the director and the FBI to expedite this process as much as possible. We should have, why can't we have this out in a week? Why can't they go through and before election? And by the way, this is another reason why early voting is a horrible idea. because we saw a segment earlier today. They said like almost half the people in Arizona have already voted before we know what is about to come out. But look, you can't dump them out. You have to vet them. But the sooner we know, the better.
Yeah. All right.
But
So
Fredricka,
almost 20 million people have voted. Go ahead, Laura.
That's exactly the reason that Director Comey was premature in his disclosure to the Senate about these emails. You can imagine the scenario where a prosecutor or where a police officer simply dumps to the media or to Congress or politicians and says, here are things I'm thinking about investigating. I don't know what's in this box, but it may be something. I'm not telling you it's even relevant. We don't allow people to be tarred and feathered. We do in the media have a court of public opinion, right? But the idea that you as director of the FBI, not an arm of the prosecutorial arm of the Department of Justice, he has no discretion to ultimately decide whether to charge or not. And the reasons my colleague was talking about having vetted is why he should have remained silent for now.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Laura Coates and Matt Lewis, Robert, Bob Bittman, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
we'll be right back.